Well, here we are back in Eurotruck. We're back on the latest version of the Harsh Russian map, and we're going to do a trip from one of the most common places I've been. I've usually always had a headquarters here in Ulanude. We're going to head south, and we're doing a 305-mile trip. We're going south and east, and we're going to make a connection, if we can get there, from Bada, then all the way down to this new area of the map. This is an area where I hadn't driven before. I have done a job. I started a job in this area when I first installed this map, and we are going all the way along this road to this place here called Uleti. Now what you've got to remember again is, and I keep reminding people, this is all in Russian text normally, this map, but I do have a Russian to English translator mod, which is from like 2 versions ago, at least 2 versions ago. It might even be longer than that, but it does work. So these town and location names are all translated into some form of English that makes it easier if you want to jump around the map like I do. Now, needless to say, with this being a 1-to-1 scale map, there's no way we're driving 305 miles at one sitting. So what I'm planning to do in the next few streams is to do this over maybe 3 or 4 different streams, maybe a couple of hours each. As you can see, the trip time there is estimated at 8.5 hours, which of course is real time, and I'm not prepared any longer to sit for 8 hours doing a full stream like that. So we are starting off early morning, and hopefully we'll get some good daylight obviously later on, and we're in our big American military transport truck, which is the Oshkosh Hemped heavy something tactical vehicle. And of course I'm running in automatic. Now you can't see because the light's quite poor at the moment, but this trailer is an off-road trailer, which again is a mod that you can install. You have to look for the NEFAZ, or I think that's what you call it, NEFAZ off-road trailer pack. And again, this trailer pack mod is a few versions old, but it still works, and it allows you to pull the trailer where it's not tilted like it would be, because I've got the big set of tires on the truck. And so let's try it out and see what happens, see how far we can get in this sitting before we have to take a break. So this will be part 1. We'll get in the truck, and I will get my wheel in place. That'll just take a second, as long as I don't tie my headphone cable in knots, and then we should be good to go. Right, let's fire her up. Now I've got it in automatic again because this gear stick is unreliable. Also, I should have this in, let me just check the button, hang on, we'll find out once we start. I should have the diff lock on. I like to keep the diff lock on all the time in this truck, especially when you come to hills, because that way it'll get you up there. It might get you up there slow, but it will get you up there eventually. So without further ado, we're revved up. And let's get going. We've still got about 100 gallons of fuel in the tank. Relative to a lot of trucks, in fact, that warning will keep coming up, but we'll just ignore it. Relative to a lot of trucks, it doesn't have a huge fuel tank, but what you've got to remember is that the fuel consumption is realistic, so your 130 gallon fuel tank will do many miles. In fact, I've still got a range of 850 miles, which is more than enough for this trip. So let's go. I've already told everybody that in the stream, you're late. We're going from Ulanude on the harsh Russian map. We're heading south, and we're going to make a connection down at the end of the map here at whatever the name of the place is. That place there, Bada, and then that will then take us down to this place here, Bada 2 as they call it, and that will allow us to then drive along here to Uleti. Now, I've driven part of this road, and most of this road is very, very easy. I think this actual part of the route here was designed for the heavy cargo trailers, and I've already done one job where I had a huge, I don't know what you call it, like a tower, but it was lying on its side, obviously, because you could see the staircase running up inside it. Big, huge thing. And this road is fairly straightforward as far as I know, so there should be no problem with this truck getting there, but we won't do that today. We're only going to go for a couple of hours, because the total distance is 300 odd miles. We'll never do that. We're just going to do this whole trip in probably, I'm guessing, maybe 3 or 4 streams, and that way I don't have to be sitting down for hours on end. It would take us about 8 hours or more to do this, but we ain't going to be doing that. We're going to do it in various parts. Alaskan truck driver. Now that's interesting, because I'll tell you what the problem I've got with it right now. Alaskan truck driver has gone weird on me. I downloaded the ice road map, and I had it installed, and I had it on my profile, and then what I was doing, I'll tell you what the problem is, and it was myself that cocked it up. I'm going to take the blame, because in Alaskan Truck Driver you could have it in the experimental mode within Steam, which allows you to test it in DirectX 12. So when I first did the most recent update that Alaskan Truck Driver had, I remember seeing that pop up on the screen, so I thought I'll test it in DirectX 12, which my graphics card will run, because I've played lots of other games in DirectX 12 and they all run fine. This game doesn't though. Alaskan Truck Driver with DX12 activated is absolutely horrible. The frame rate is so poor, it's so choppy, that I decided to bin it. Now the problem is that I couldn't see any option in the game menu to come out of DirectX 12. So I then made the mistake, and that's where I made the mistake of switching the game back to the normal game. Rather than having it on experimental mode, I switched it back to the normal game. And when I tried to load my profile, it told me that I had a missing mod. And this is where it gets confusing. And I'm thinking, well, what's the missing mod? And when I looked at the map, having reset the game back to the default game, if you know what I mean, it had also got rid of the Ice Road map that I had installed, which is a free update. And so then I double checked that the map was installed, which it was, and I then started the game with my profile, got rid, and the other thing I had to discover is how to get rid of the DirectX 12. Well, the way to do that is to right-click the game in Steam, and then within the options there, you can decide how to start the game. And one of the options is DirectX 12. So I chose the other option for just starting the game. But anyway, that fixed the frame rate issue. The frame rate issue is still not excellent in the game, but it was a much better frame rate than what it was with the DirectX 12 experimental thing. So I thought everything's good to go. Then when I looked at the map, the Ice Road truck map is gone. And so in this profile that I have for Alaskan truck drivers, I can do all the jobs I want to do, but I cannot get the Alaskan Ice Road mod map to actually work. It won't appear on the map. So that's a bug actually in the game, because the fact that it's a free download, and when you stop and start your game and relaunch Steam and all of that stuff, the map should be there, but it is not there. And it shouldn't matter what profile you're under, the map should be there, and it isn't there. So I've ditched that right now, simply because I haven't been able to try the bloody Ice Road thing, and I won't be on this profile. And I'll tell you another thing I'm not prepared to do. I'm not prepared to start a new profile just to get the bloody Ice Road thing in, because I've already ground and been grinding jobs to get money and try and get upgraded, and I'm not going to sit through hours and hours and hours to do that. So with this version of the Harsh Russian map being out, I've decided it's a lot bloody simpler doing this. Anyway, oops, we're on our way. I actually haven't a clue what it is I'm delivering. I never really do pay attention to what I'm delivering, because it never really matters. And again, the driving in Eurotruck is so far ahead of it's so far ahead of Alaskan truck drivers in terms of the driving experience. There's no comparison, and they still haven't fixed the controller quality in the game. I mean, driving the truck with the controller should be a lot better than what it is. But it isn't. It's improved, but it's not really satisfactory. Well, there's two ways to look at it. If you were going to buy Alaskan Truck Driver, it's eventually going to come out in the consoles, and that's really what it's been designed for more than anything. Probably the console player to work with a controller, but in the PC it doesn't really work great with the controller at all. It works great with a wheel, don't get me wrong, but and it's not multiplayer. If you want to have multiplayer, it doesn't have that. I mean, this game has multiplayer, but multiplayer in Eurotruck shit. I've never liked it, and I don't like the fact that you're restricted by having exactly the same mods as everybody else in it. So unless you've got a group of people, which I don't have, with exactly the same mods, you cannot do convoy mode. Right, let's get ready to turn left then. Well, the advantages with Alaskan Truck Driver is that you can get out the truck. You can walk about. It sounds a bit lame, but you can't do that in Eurotruck. Watch yourself here, buddy. You can't do that. What the hell's he trying to do? At least let me out in the bloody road before you start moving. Christ almighty. The advantages are quite a few with Alaskan Truck. In fact, there's quite a few things in Alaskan Truck that Eurotruck should be stealing. The fact that you can get out the truck, the fact that you have to manually hook up the trailer, the fact that you have to go and feed yourself, the fact that in Eurotruck I can't pull to the side of the road here and take a rest. I can't do that. I have to go and find a place where I can rest. Whereas an Alaskan truck driver, there are parking places in Alaskan truck driver, but you don't have to find one. As long as you can pull the truck off to the side of the road, you can jump into bed and take a rest. You have to feed yourself, obviously. You don't want to die of starvation. You have to make sure you get a warm jacket on when you're out in winter time, or else you'll freeze to death. You can't do that in Eurotruck. You have to go into stores to buy your food and keep your supplies. You can do general maintenance in your truck, which Eurotruck doesn't allow you to do. You can buy filters, you can buy batteries, you can buy a chainsaw for cutting down trees if the road's blocked. You can do all of that stuff, and Eurotruck doesn't do all of that. So yes, there's lots of things in Alaskan truck driver that is good. That to be honest with you, Eurotruck should have had that years ago. It should have had it years and years and years ago. So yeah, there's loads of things that Eurotruck could learn from Alaskan truck, but in terms of quality, then Alaskan truck driver is nowhere near the quality of Eurotruck, and it doesn't have anything you would recognise as a mod community yet. In fact, there's really nothing because the game is so new. But it'll live or die depending on whether the modders get into it or not. I wonder if that's a range stop. Let me see. Oh, that's the wrong bloody button. Hang on. In fact, Alaskan truck driver, even in winter, even though it's more difficult to drive in winter, it's nowhere, I mean, it is nowhere near as severe as what this map is. I've got the winter mod installed. I haven't got it activated in this on this map, but the northern part of the harsh Russian map is set in winter, and even without snow falling, you get complete whiteout conditions where you can't see where the hell you're going. You don't get that in Alaskan truck, but the mod, the weather mod, and the actual way this map's set up, if you drive in the northern part of this map, it's bloody impossible. It's much more challenging, but not many people have this map. That's the problem, because you can't get it because of the embargo against Russia at the moment. But this is the bootleg version, which is on some of the websites, some of the download website. That's how I got it. No, you don't. You don't get your mods from Pro Mods. The only mods you get from Pro Mods are the Pro Mods map. That's the only thing they do. Pro Mods for ETS and Pro Mods Canada. You get all your mods off the mod websites. I've got, God knows how many I've got in my favourites. I've got a couple of Russian mod websites as well, where I get some of the Russian trucks from. And also the reason I'm subscribed to the Russian mod websites is in case a new version of this map gets bootlegged. But actually I never even got it off one of the Russian websites. I got it off one of my regular mod websites. This is by far the most challenging map in Eurotruck, always has been, and then you look at it in this section and you're saying, well, what's challenging about this? And that's the thing about it. You're always going to get caught out with something in this damn map. There's always things and buggy things in this map mod that will catch you out. There's always obstacles in the road that will catch you out. There's always big bumps that will wreck the truck. There's always really steep roads. There's always off-road sections that are bloody difficult to drive on. Right, we're taking it easy through here simply because we haven't got enough daylight to really see clearly ahead where we're going. So I don't want to make a numpty of myself this early in the stream. I've got the interesting thing also is I've got my Steam overlay on, which is the one thing that will prevent you, if you don't have it switched on, you can't broadcast live on Steam. And I've got that activated, but for some reason at the moment my broadcast isn't working in Steam, so I don't know what the hell's up with it. But I should be on. I should be back on Twitch and YouTube and Kick and also my Facebook channel. They should all be working because I've reactivated them all. You see, if you're hurtling down this road at 60 odd mile an hour and then you come to a dip like that, you're going to fly off the road. I would suggest that that if somebody got Eurotruck today and got talked into downloading and installing this map, I wouldn't recommend it to them. Simply because you have to be. I mean, you need to drive this map a long time to become familiar with the things that will catch you out, and plus you also need to have be able to navigate without the GPS working. Because half the time it doesn't work in a lot of the places. Good afternoon, or what time is it anyway? I've forgotten what time of day it is. It's what, 20 to 2 in the afternoon here. Good afternoon to Ice King. Oh, there's a protester at the side of the road. I mean, for a completely novice driver coming to this map, you're going to get wrecked at some point because you'll get caught out with parked traffic, with trucks running into other trucks, and you'll get caught up in accidents. I mean, even I get caught up in accidents half the time. Some of them are actually caused by myself. There's what I was talking about there. You see that up ahead? You see that truck bouncing across the road? There's been a collision up ahead already. Now, yeah, and I mean, here's an example of a problem. Right now, if you're a new driver, right, and you come to this point here and you find that truck has collided with something and is therefore blocking the road. He's jackknifed. Look at the stadium, he's jackknifed. There's no way that's going to fix itself, so therefore there's no way you're going to get past him, right? And so a completely novice driver in this map, if they don't have the fly cam activated, then they're never going to get past that. They're going to do something daft like try and drive down the railway line and drive over here. You know, there is a way past them by actually doing that, as a matter of fact, looking at it. The problem is that you're fenced off up to that point, so you can get past them if you want to do that, if you want to take that risk. The problem with that also is that you've got an unmanned, no barrier on the railway track here, and 100 mile an hour train could just wreck you completely, like this train is about to do right now, I think. So that's the kind of type of thing that happens to you in this map. You're trying to struggle across there in your truck, and the next thing you know, boom, you're hit by a fucking train. So there's two ways to do this, right? There's a cheating way, the way I would normally do it, and that is just to go past him, go to here and spawn the truck. The other way to do it is actually to do this, is to go to options and go to graphics And now what's the one you do? Go to full screen. I've got it in full screen mode. Uncheck the box and hit apply. Right? And say that you're going to keep that for the time being. So then come out of that, go back into the game, start from where you've left off. You'll see what happens. You'll see that the road's now been cleared just by changing the graphics setting. Now once I get past him, if I can get over here without getting hit by a train, because these barriers are broken, right? They're deliberately left like that to catch you out, so when you come to this bloody crossing, if there's any train coming, you're doomed, so I need to gun it and try and get across. So that's the one cheat that allows you to get past that. So what we'll do is we'll go back into the options, go to graphics, check the full screen mode, hit apply. Do you want to keep that? Yes, and then we can carry on. So that's the simple way of clearing a blockage in the road when it's been an accident with vehicles and stuff without having to use the fly cam. Right. Other mistakes people make is driving too close to parked vehicles or too close to the vehicle in front, because trucks will run into parked vehicles at the side of the road and you'll be involved in the accident. That's the common thing that can happen in this map. Maybe not necessarily on this particular road, but there are loads of roads where that will happen. So we've got just under 300 miles to go. There's a speed restriction on here, and this road does go up and down quite a bit, but I haven't got the time for speed restrictions. But I've started this trip at a good point in the day, early morning, just as dawn's breaking, so we'll get a good lot of daylight when we go further on into the trip. This is the other thing you'll get in this map. Stop behind a line of traffic for mile after mile. The roads are usually very busy, day and night, and so if you try and overtake something in this road, you're dead. You're going to hit something guaranteed. So it's pointless trying to overtake. And one other thing you need to do is get a good truck for this map. Preferably an off-road truck, because you're going to be in quite a few bad roads. Some of them in really poor condition. I know, for example, on this road we're going to get some rough bits on it. We're going to get trees across the road, things at the bottom of a hill that will catch you out if you're speeding. I always like to have the internal zoom camera set, that way I can look a wee bit further forward to see what's at the bottom of a dip, because that's where he lays traps for you. The Russian guy that done this map, he always lays traps to catch you out. There's a lot of this goes on in this section of the route where you're going up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm steering my stomach at the moment because I'm trying to get a drink of water. And I've bumped the dodgy gear stick. So it's coming up to 5 AM in the morning. I'm using at least a 10 or 12-year-old Logitech Driving Force GT that I bought for Gran Turismo, and hopefully this wheel is still working because there's reasonably good signs that Gran Turismo 7's coming to the PC eventually. I can't wait for that to happen. I'll be back into the karting then. When I got my broadband updated the other day, or upgraded, part of the deal from BT was to get that Xbox Game Pass, and I've downloaded what do you call it, Forza Motorsport. Now, if Alaskan Truck Driver wants an example of how a controller should work when you're trying to drive with a controller in a game, then Forza Motorsport is probably a perfect example for them to look at, because you can drive a car perfectly okay with the Xbox controller in Forza Motorsport. It drives like a dream. But Alaskan Truck Drivers guys haven't quite worked out how the hell to work with a controller at all. Well, some of my buttons don't work that great in my wheel now. They've been battered and used so much. My gear stick is unreliable. I do prefer to drive manually, but the problem is that the gear stick will kick in or it won't kick in, and so I drive in automatic. And this is why you need a good truck like this, where it's got a good gearbox and a good powerful engine. 1,000 horsepower engine this thing's got, big military truck. And of course it's got the high wheelbase which you need for a lot of the off-road sections in this map. So you need the ideal truck, but I'm limited by the functionality. My wheel still works perfect, you know, it works fine. And my accelerator works fine. My brake pedal's a bit dodgy. It sort of sticks if I just let it. If I brake, the brake pedal can sometimes stay on slightly. You know, things are just wearing out. This wheel has had an awful lot of good use, so the fact that it's lasted this long is a miracle. But it works great with Eurotruck. Now, if I remember rightly, we're going to come to a fairly steep bit in a little while. There's the lake coming onto the road. Now, I know the message comes up telling me to switch the diff lock off because we're running on a smooth road, but you need to have the diff lock on all the time with this truck, because with the heavy trailer that I've got, with whatever it is that's in it, that's just going to kill you going up a steep hill. But if you have the diff lock on, you'll even though you might be going really slow, it'll get you to the top. So daylight gets ever closer. And the lake overflowing onto the road again. If you have a truck with a shitty little engine, it's useless for this map. Absolutely pointless. It won't get you anywhere. In fact, you can be 2 minutes into the game, depending where your base is, you can be 2 minutes into the game and you come to the first hill and you can't get up it. That's a mistake I made when I first tried this map out years and years and years ago. I just used one of the basic trucks to start off with, came to the first hill, couldn't get up the damn hill, and that was that. That was it, game over. The truck just would not get up the hill. But then again, that was before I'd learned that you can use the developer mode to use the fly cam to cheat your way out of problems like that. But I only ever use the fly cam as a to respawn the truck as a last resort. Now, yeah, see, the traffic's getting held up here, so we're going to get held up. Oh, I had a Vauxhall Corsa. I think my, what was it? It was a 1 litre engine, and I remember I was driving on the M6. I was coming, where the hell was I coming from? I think I was coming back from the Lake District. I'd gone down to the Lake District for the day. And on my way back up the M6, we're coming to, oh, what's that high point on the M6? Or the A70, or the M74, I think it was. Beatuck Summit. That's what it was. And I was coming up that. And the next thing you know, I'm looking in my rear view mirror, and the bloody trucks going up the hill were catching up with me. It had no pulling power at all. I mean, you're not going to get much out of a 1 litre engine in a Corsa. And so that's why I said, well, when I get my next car, it's going to be a lot bloody more powerful than this. And then I got a Ford Focus after that, a big 2 litre thing that was a gas guzzler. Alright, here we go again. Another steep section. Yeah, they're really stalling in the hill here because there's a twisty bend. This is the one I remember. And this isn't steep for this map. This is not steep. It's steep, but it's not steep for this map. You've got hills in this map that could take you an hour to get to the top. Believe me. But we're well away from all of that. Now you've got to watch this type of thing, like this. So he's slowed down to try and let me past before I start cutting him up. I'm probably going to catch him. I might get away with it, I think. So that's allowed the traffic to go ahead of us a wee bit. Now here's another twisty bit. down towards the lake again. Get the foot to the floor, try and get a bit of momentum. Through the flood. I think the traffic's getting held up again, yeah. That's still not steep. See, you've got stuff like this. A truck stuck in the middle of the road. Now, most of those AI, in fact, all of those AI vehicles went through that truck, but you could be too close to a truck and suddenly the truck will hit that truck and then they're bouncing 300 foot in the air and you get involved in the accident. There's something crazy could happen here because that car's just reversed for no apparent reason and now he's stuck against the truck, waiting to see if I'm going to try and get past him. And now that truck on the far side in the oncoming lane, it's stuck. This is the type of thing that happens. Now I've barely got enough room to get past him in the right and there's a post in the way as well, so I'm going to go for it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the truck and the car started bouncing all over the place. And because we stopped, then that's buggered up the gears. We're down to first gear to get moving. I'm going to have to take this post out, I think. Maybe not. Well, the sun's over there somewhere, but it hasn't come above the horizon yet. What time is it now? 5:10 in the morning. I mean, this isn't a big hill, but this will give you an example. This is what happens. You get on a steeper road than this. I mean, there's something that's probably about twice as steep as this, and it takes you an hour or more to get up to the top of it because it's a huge, huge long hill. Let you move my mouse. So basically, you can go and put the kettle on. Well, this is going on. There's the crest up there, I think. But the gearbox will kick in soon enough. As soon as we just get to about the brow of the hill, it will kick in. But if I didn't have the diff lock on, I wouldn't be getting up this hill. I would not be getting up. I'd grind to a halt. That's why I leave it on all the time. Right, that's what I meant to have a quick look at. Does it say what the hell I'm truck batteries. That's why the truck's heavy. That's what I'm delivering. I'm driving a whole bunch of truck batteries. So that's added an awful lot of weight to the trailer. Right, it should start kicking in any second. And so far I haven't had a disaster. I've never done a trip yet where I've not had a disaster. Almost there. What's this up here? Is this something parked the other way? That's about it. Off we go. And then of course we've got the big dip the other side. Take it nice and easy. We don't want to let this run away and then we end up going head over heels. You'll get daft things like guys in electric wheelchairs sat in the middle of the road. We haven't had a log in the middle of the road yet, but that's to come. Because I know what's up ahead. And then we've got a big drop and a tight corner where the road's been dug up. I remember that bit on this. It's not that far away, I don't think. So the speed limit's now at 68. So we can get the foot down a wee bit. So we started this trip with 305 miles to go. We're down to 291, all real miles. Now see how we're going to, on a big dip here, you always have the impression there's something at the bottom here to catch you out, a bit like this, like the car sat in the middle of the road, like that. You hurtle down there at 70 mile an hour and suddenly there's a car in the middle of the road, bang. You've got to be ready for them. He puts the traps all over the place. He wants to encourage you to put the foot to the floor because he'll stick that trap there just to catch the mugs that fly down. Well, I've learned that a long time ago. What's going on here? The one thing you also want to make sure you're doing in this map is always drive in the daylight. Never drive at night. You'll get completely bamboozled and lost. And then there's the detours. That's the other thing you'll get caught out with. the GPS will tell you to follow one road and you'll end up going off the map. Now here's, I need to make sure we stay away from him. Have you driven this map? Have you driven the Harsh Russian map at night? There are areas in this map that are bloody lethal at night. That's why I've got, now is that, that's just the repair bit. I've got the fatigue simulation off. So what I tend to do in this map is drive in the full daylight, and then when it gets to like late in the afternoon, early evening, then I'll take a rest so that you're back to morning the next day. You try driving the northern part of this map in the winter, where it's all winter in the northern part of the map. You drive that at night in complete whiteout conditions in a lot of it, and then tell me if you enjoyed it. Tell me if you had fun. I've done it, and I vowed I'd never do it again. I mean, this part of the map, this road's fine to drive at night, you know, because there are problems on it. As long as you take your time and you don't go blasting the speed, you should get through it okay. But other roads in this map, no, not recommended at all. What about driving from Kamchatka? What about driving from there? I'll show you on the map. Here's somewhere you don't want to be driving at night. Where the hell is it? Right, from there down in Kamchatka, and you're driving north till you get up to the winter section of the map. You try driving there at night, because first of all, I've done it, and you can see that this section here hasn't been discovered because you don't actually use the road. A lot of the roads in this map are just there to fool you. You're actually driving on a big, I mean, there's a part of this that's a big steep cliff, and there's nothing down your right hand side apart from a river which is about 400 or 500 foot below you. You're driving on a bumpy cliff edge in darkness, really tight to the wall of the cliff. You've also got a huge, there's actually a 2 or 3 big switchback climbs you have to do on this, and do that at night with a truck like this that's long. It's so you'll end up going off the cliff, I can guarantee it. Yeah, there's loads of areas in this map you do not want to go near it at night. It is a no-no, it's not recommended. I'll tell you, stay well away from it. Here's another big dip coming up. And we're coming to a town. Now, I can't see how much. I mean, I've probably still got about 90 gallons of fuel left, so we don't even really need to top up the tank. We can just keep going. There's a guy in a horse stuck in the middle of the road. I think it was a policeman. I think we might be stuck behind this tanker for quite a while, unless he turns off somewhere, because he's going to hold us up. And we'll just give him a bit more distance because of what can happen. He could very easily run into a parked truck at the side of the road and then there's carnage. That was a guy with a speed check camera back there on the right. Two coppers stand in the middle of the road. So we've got a bit more daylight over there. Sun will appear eventually. There's a guy in the electric wheelchair there. There's one of them. He's just sitting there at the side of the road. But some of his mates are actually parked right in the middle of the road throughout the map. You've got barrels lying in the middle of the road like that for you to run into. So we have done 20 miles so far. And our average speed probably won't be much more than 20 mile an hour, I think. Right, here's a test here. We've got oncoming traffic. We've got a tight bend. So we'll get over to this side a wee bit. This is steeper. The ideal thing would be to try and do this trip in 100-mile sections. If that's the case, then we've still got another 80 mile to go. Bump. That's getting steeper. Now, we can't be far off this. There's a very steep drop that we're doing in a short off-road section. It can't be that far away, and I remember that part. We haven't reached it yet. This might be it. I could be wrong as usual, but this might be it. I might be wrong. Yes, I'm wrong. No, I'm right. It is it, I think. Look at this. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. No road surface here. Bloody logs in the road. Look at this. Yeah, this is fairly steep. We'll try and go this way. Well, we get through that unscathed. Big dip. Again, just to catch you out. And a big climb up the other side here. Another big dip. That's us right down to first gear. Yeah, it's getting steeper. We've got all the traffic behind us. Hundreds of yards of traffic. But we're going to make it. Well, at least the sun's not going to be in our eyes when it comes up. It's still somewhere over there. Yeah, there's still steeper roads than this. And that Kamchatka section's got steeper roads than this, and much longer as well. It takes you so long to drive in that part of the map because you're going like this all the time. Almost there. Waiting for the gears to kick in. I don't know why the speed limit's still 19 miles an hour, but sometimes the speed limit gets bugged and it sticks at a certain speed when it actually shouldn't be. Let's just try driving over this side for a minute and see if it'll fix itself. Or maybe it is still meant to be 19 miles an hour. Oh, it looks like it. See, the thing is that this AI guy is going at 19 miles an hour, and the oncoming traffic is going a lot bloody faster. You get weird things like that going on. Why would it be one speed going one direction and another speed going the other direction? Right, we'll have a quick look. We'll get 81 gallons left, 717 range, more than enough to finish this trip. And the other frustrating thing also for driving in this map is stuff like this, where you're in a speed restricted area, you're stuck behind AI traffic, the oncoming traffic's so heavy you can't overtake, you just have to grind it out. So now the speed limit is 68 and we're still crawling. So it's 5:45 a.m. in the morning on Friday, and according to the GPS, we should be arriving at our destination at 1:45 p.m. in the afternoon, with 279 miles still to go. Let's have a quick look at the map, see where we've got to. We left Ulanude, and there we are there. That's as far as we've got. However, that's as far as we have to go to get this connection that takes us to the final part of our trip. So needless to say, this ain't going to be anywhere near happening today. No chance of that whatsoever. It's far too far. And I think we've already been on the road for, what, the best part of 90 minutes. Maybe not far short of it. So it's time for me to have a wee drink. And then we've really just got to look for somewhere decent to park up, and then carry on this tomorrow, because I'm off tomorrow. So fit in another session tomorrow afternoon probably. Well, this truck that's up ahead must be quite heavily loaded, because that's why we're crawling, because it's struggling to get up the gradients, and needless to say, it holds up all the traffic behind it and all of that stuff there. So we need him to disappear off a side road somewhere. In actual fact, it might not be him, it might be something else. I hope it's not a bloody tractor that's in front of us. It looks as if it's him that's holding us up. I can't see anything else in front of him. Right, I could do something crazy like this. Oh, it's a bloody caravan. I might have guessed it. I might have guessed it. It's a bloody caravan. Bloody tourists. Well, that was a bonus. Finding a spot we could overtake. Now we're stuck behind him. And is it another? Oh, it's another truck. It's not another caravan. This is where I'm going to have an accident, trying to overtake these guys. Well, it's either going to be a tractor or it's going to be a caravan that will hold you up. I thought it was a truck, but then of course you spot the bloody caravan in front of him. Touring everywhere at 30 mile an hour. We could have been making a lot more mileage if these slow trucks weren't in front of us. Right, I'm just going to go back over this side of the road, see if this speed limit is genuine. Yes, it is. Now, when I've driven this road before, I have normally stopped at Bar, and that's English translation. I've usually started in Ulanude and driven down as far as Bar, which is there, and called it quits at that point, and then started again. And I think that's what we'll do today. We'll go as far as Bar. Now, that's one of those traps again to catch us. Well, the engine's off. Oh, I never noticed you there, CP. No, it's that's Russian. I think it's Russian for Haas Russian. That's what it is in all the Russian websites, the game sites, or the mod sites anyway. Plus the fact that it's the way a lot of the Russian guys that play Euro Truck who don't want to buy the map, that at least they know that it's out there, that it's available. So they'll go trawling through the mod sites to find the map and they'll download it. Right, so our destination for this part of the trip is going to be Bar. That's where I'm going to go and get something to eat. I won't be doing any more of this today, because my arse is sore. Now we don't want to get, again, never get too close to the truck in front, because you're asking for trouble doing that. Always keep a good bit of distance between the two, and then you can watch the accident happen up ahead and avoid it. Oh, I think I hit that sign there. Oh, there's another big climb coming, I think. So if you watch the GPS map in the middle of the screen at the bottom, watch for Bar appearing on it. It will eventually appear, and that's where we're going to park up and call it quits. So we started with 305 miles to do, and we're only down to 274. No chance to overtake these guys. It'd be fatal trying to do that in a hill. Oh dear, I'm yawning already. Not far to go now to the top of the hill. Yeah, I will be getting a coffee, but I'll be getting something to eat as well. Coffee will be there to wash it down. I don't know what I'm going to eat, mind you. I'm going to have a rummage. Well, we're still quite a bit away from Bar. We're still there, and that's where we're headed to quit this session. There's a trap at the bottom of the hill as usual. Oh, that was fairly mild. Well, it's 7 minutes past 6 in the morning. We've done 35 miles since we started. I wonder if that speedometer's clocking up the mileage. I don't think it is. Well, what looks to be fairly clear skies, it started spitting the rain. Now, this is a bit I spotted before. If we look over here, over at that section there, you can see where he's placed the landscape, but he hasn't meshed it together. So you can see under the map there at that point. Maybe he was thinking you wouldn't be able to see it from the road, but you can, or at least I can, because things like that catch my eye. Now I've got a screenshot on my Eurotruck profile in Steam, and it's exactly this section of the road I took the screenshot. This is steep. This is where I took the screenshot, just exactly at this point. And we're still nowhere near Bar yet. There it's there. That's probably another, what, I don't know, maybe another 5-6 miles away. Right, we're getting too close to him. Logs in the road. This is usually my afternoon nap time when I get home from work. It's what, 3:15. I'm usually asleep in front of the TV at this time in the afternoon. Because even though it's my day off, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. Body clock won't switch off. That's probably why I'm in a permanent stage of tiredness, or a permanent state of tiredness every bloody day, even on my day off. Now there's a parking place up ahead with a repair spot as well. Now that might be as good a point. We might not even get to bar. I think this might do if it's decent enough, if we can get in and get parked. And we'll call it quits there, because I'm knackered. I just hope it's on this side of the road. It doesn't look like it though. Hard to tell at the moment, but it looks as if it's the other side of the road. Yeah. How much bloody room have we got to work with here? Right. Wipers off. Engine off. And shift the wheel out of the way. I need to find out why my Steam broadcast isn't working, because I've got everything set so that it does work, but it didn't bloody work this time. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Steam needs another update. Steam seems to get updated about 5 times a day, so it does. Right, so what have we actually completed in this trip? Well, we're delivering truck batteries, I think it is, and Ulanude was our starting point. We were trying to get to Bar, but I can't be arsed. This is good enough. We'll go that far. We have still got 267 miles still to go. I'll be doing the second part of this trip tomorrow at some point, but I've got to go out and do some pre-Christmas shopping. I need to get some food in. I'll do that, and then probably in the afternoon, it might be a bit later starting, but we'll do part 2 of this journey, and then no doubt when I'm off over the Christmas period I'll probably finalise it. I'll complete the delivery then, but of course then I'm driving on a road that I haven't really driven before, but I don't think it should be that difficult, he says confidently. So till we meet again, I'll bid you good afternoon, and we will see you again soon. Take care.